Incidentally, Frank Greif, who runs the Office of Cable Communications, will be leaving that position at the end of this month to take on the role of president of an up-and-coming telecommunication company. And you won't want to go away, because when we return, Betty Bender introduces us to a TV star from the past who's now made it big in the music industry. Stay with us.
I'm David.
In case you're wondering why I'm talking so softly this evening, Tom tells me that the seals enjoy peace and quiet while they're eating their dinner. You can hardly blame them. That's not too much to ask. If you remember back in the 50s and 60s, there was a show that we all loved. It was called The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. Well, it made a teen idol and a music star out of the young son, Ricky Nelson. Well, now he goes by the name Rick, and recently he was in Seattle, and our Betty Bender had the chance to meet him.
The song says he's a traveling man, and over the past 30 years, Rick Nelson has traveled around the world, across the airwaves, and into the hearts of a lot of people, especially women my age who remember the cute kid who brought some spark to an otherwise rather unadventurous TV show.
Our show, it was really a show about the 50s, and it was done in the 50s, you know, and they really did have malt shops and that whole thing, you know, because, I mean, I went to them, and drive-ins and things like that, you know. And it's you know, there's no way you can compare what's happening now to back then, because, you know, that whole family structure thing has changed so much, you know.
Which points up an interesting paradox. Rick Nelson, the 43-year-old man of the 1980s, hasn't changed so much. He doesn't seem to have traveled far from the old Ozzie and Harriet days. The songs he sang then are the songs he's still singing.
And so I come to you, my love, my heart above my head. But I see the danger there. If there's a chance for me, then I don't care. Fools rush in.
But there was a time in the early 70s when Rick questioned holding on to old memories. He'd been asked to do a rock and roll revival at Madison Square Garden. It wasn't a big success, but it did lead to this hit song.
I went to a garden party to reminisce with my old friends. A chance to share old memories, play songs again.
I just felt very out of place doing the show. And it's really a song about that particular evening, and the line where it says you can't please everyone, you have to please yourself. It was kind of a reminder for me.
For Rick Nelson, it is all right now. He's happy singing and playing and intends to do it for a long time to come. But before I said goodbye to him, I thought I'd ask the one question everybody asked me before I did the interview. What did your dad do on the TV show?
We were talking about it. Wasn't it supposed to be an entertainment family? I mean, that you were all in entertainment? Or what was the...
No, actually, he owned an adult bookstore. But we could never show that, you know.
I love it. That's good. Put that in.
So that's why they never mentioned what he did on the air.